Hello students, welcome back to accountancy classes. I hope you all are enjoying this rainy season. Weather is very pleasant nowadays, you know about it. So with this pleasant weather, let's start some study also. So in our last video, we have completed question number 5. And after question number 5, that is 6th, 7th, 8th question, just I am solving here. 6th or 7th question, that will be your homework. So 8th question, prepare the accounting equation on the basis of following. There are only 4 transactions here. Started business with cash and stock. This is the first time point for you that you are started business with cash and stock. Means when you started your business, in that time you invested cash, but with cash you are investing stock also. So here we will make columns, that is for cash, and second column we will prepare for stock. Cash, stock or whatever assets that we are investing in the starting of business, that all will be included in capital. So third column, that will be capital. Capital may be your cash amount, maybe stock, furniture, whatever that you are investing at the starting of business. So cash, stock and capital. Third point, second point, sold goods at a profit of 25%. You are selling goods. It means stock and cash. Deposited into bank account. You are depositing money into bank account. It means your cash reduced from the business, but you are depositing in your bank account. It means your bank account increased. So that is also your asset. So we will make a separate column for bank. That are cash decreased, but bank account increased. Purchased goods from Mohan. Mohan, name is given here. It means this is credit purchase. So stock and the second column, creditors. Here cash, stock and bank. So last column we will prepare for total assets. Now the first transaction. Started business with cash rupees 140 and stock 250. Started business with cash rupees 1,40,000 and stock rupees 2,50,000. So first of all, write in cash column 140, stock 250. So you can say that your total capital is 3,90,000. No effect on bank account. 140 plus 250, total assets are also 390 and capital is also 390. Form the equation. $140, $250 and total assets are 3,90,000. No creditors and 3,90,000 is your capital. Second point. Sold goods costing rupees 50,000 at a profit of 25%. Sold goods costing rupees 50,000 at a profit of 25%. Yes. So costing 50,000, it means your stock reduced by 50,000. You are selling goods, it means stock reduced from your business. So 50,000 is the costing of stock, profit is 25%. So here just write down cost rupees 50,000, profit equals to 25%. So what is the 25% of 50,000? It will be 12,500. 12,500 is the amount of profit. So 50,000 plus 12,500, 62,500. This will increase your cash. Because name is not given here, it means this is cash purchase. And differential amount is the amount of profit that will increase your capital. No amount for creditors and bank. 62,500 minus 50,000. So 12,500 is the net effect on total assets. Again equation, 140 plus 62,500, it will be 2,02,500. It is 2 lakh. It will be 4,02,500. Horizontally also match it. 2,02,500 plus 2 lakh, that is 4,02,500. 390 plus 12,500, that is also 4,02,500. And here 4,02,500. Next point, third. Deposited into bank account 1,80,000. Deposited into bank account rupees 1,80,000. It means you got cash from your business and that cash is deposited into bank. Means your cash decreased by 1,80,000 and that 1,80,000 will increase your bank balance. So no effect on total assets because one assets increased but the second assets decreased. So no effect on total assets, creditors and capital. Again just form the equation first. 2,02,500 minus 180. It will be 22,500. 2 lakh, 1,80,000, 4,02,500 and 4,02,500. Next point, purchased goods from Mohan, rupees 80,000. This is the last transaction. Purchased goods from Mohan, rupees 80,000. 80,000 is the amount of stock and you are purchasing goods from Mohan. Mohan is your creditor, so it will increase the amount of creditor. No effect on capital. Here total assets will increase by 80,000 because you have purchased goods. Now final equation. $22,500, 2,80,000, 1,80,000, 4,02,000 plus 80,000. It will be 4,82,500, 80,000, 4,02,500. This is the final equation. That check it here. Total assets are equals to liabilities plus capital. So in asset side you have three assets, that is cash, stock and bank. And in liabilities you have only one point, that is creditor, and capital is the separate head. Okay. So till now we have solved approximately 4-5 questions of this chapter and I hope that you all are understanding these questions because they are not more difficult. Just you have to understand the concept. As I told you that according to double entry system, every transaction will affect at least 2 accounts. This is not fixed that it will ever affect only 2 accounts. At least it will affect 2 accounts. It may be more than 2 accounts also. Okay, as it was here that cash, stock and capital. So here were 3 accounts that was affected from this transaction. So at least 2 accounts, it may be more than 2 also. Okay, so these are a kind of accounting equations. 2 or 3 questions also we will solve just like this. So next question I am going to take here 9th B, question number 9, B point, because that is also a little different, 1 or 2 points. I hope you all are also easily able to solve these questions and I will feel very glad when you will give this type of questions in your homework. Means when you will submit your homework that ma'am we are now able to solve these questions, so I will really feel very glad. But if you have any problem you can ask me freely. Don't take tension that we are not able to understand these questions. I will make you clear again, don't worry. If you have any doubt you can ask me. Okay, so let's start the next question. That is 9th B. Yes, so see question number 9th B. Prepare accounting equation from the following and also prepare a balance sheet. In this question you have to prepare balance sheet also. So first transaction is here, Raghu started business with cash. So you know that by this transaction two accounts are affected, that are cash and capital. Cash and here capital. These two accounts will be affected from this. Second point, both goods for cash and on credit. You are purchasing goods. So if you are purchasing goods on cash, so cash account and stock account. If you are purchasing goods on credit, so that is stock and creditors. These are the two accounts of purchasing stock. Goods costing 75,000 rupees, sold at a profit of 33.13%, half the payment received in cash. You are selling goods. So first account, that is stock. When you are selling goods on cash, so second account will be affected cash, but you are receiving cash payment only half. So it means half amount will be credit. So third account, that is debtors account. Next point, goods costing 10,000 rupees, sold for 12,000 on credit. This is also credit sale, so stock account and debtors account. Paid for rent and salaries. Rent and salaries both are your expenditure, so that will reduce your cash and capital. And last point, goods costing 20,000, sold for 18,500 for cash. This is also your cash sale. So last point of asset will be total assets. So let's start with the first transaction. Raghu started business with cash rupees 1,50,000. Raghu started business with cash rupees 1,50,000. So it will increase your cash and capital. 1,50,000. No effect on stock and debtors. Total assets are also 1,50,000 and no effect on creditors. So form the equation after this transaction. 1,50,000 cash, 1,50,000 total assets, and capital is also 1,50,000. Let's see the next point. Bought goods for cash 80,000. Second point, bought goods for cash rupees 80,000 and on credit rupees 40,000 and on credit rupees 40,000. So first of all check that what is the total amount of stock you purchased. 80 plus 40, it means 1,20,000 will increase your stock. Out of 120 you paid for goods, that is 80,000, means your cash will reduced by 80,000 and 40,000 is your liability because you purchased on credit. So this 40,000 will increase your liability, that is creditors. No effect on debtors. 120 is in plus, 80 is in minus. So 120 minus 80, 40,000 total assets, no effect on capital. Again form the equation. $150 minus 80, that is 70,000. 120, 1,90,000, 40,000 and 1,50,000. This was after second transaction. You should match your equation after every transaction. Don't forget it. That total assets are equals to liabilities plus capital. Yes, third transaction is here. Goods costing 75,000 rupees. Goods costing rupees 75,000, sold at a profit of 33.13% and half the payment received in cash. Half the payment received in cash. This is the sale. So first of all check that what is the costing of goods sold. 75,000, so your stock will reduce by 75,000. Okay. Now profit 33.13%. How we will calculate this? 33 1/3, it means just calculate like this. First of all, just this is a mixed fraction. As you studied till class 10, this is mixed fraction. We have to change it in normal fraction. So 3 multiply 33, that is 99 plus 1 means 100 upon 3%. Now for removing percent, we put as a denominator 100 means 100 upon 3 multiply by 100. For removing percent, we are dividing the fraction by 100. So 100 cancel, it will be 1/3. What is the meaning of 33 whole 1/3%? That is 1/3 part. Okay. So 75,000 rupees multiply 1/3. It means it will be 25,000 rupees your profit. 25,000 profit means 75,000 was the costing, 25,000 is the profit. It means you are selling goods in 1 lakh rupees, and out of 1 lakh, half the payment received in cash. It means you received only 50,000, and the remaining 50,000 will be your debtor. Okay, 25,000 profit, that will increase your capital. Again, I am revising this point. 75,000 was the costing of goods. 75,000 profit is 33 whole 1/3%. It means 1/3 part of 75,000 is the profit. So 75,000 multiplied 1/3, that is 25,000 rupees is your profit. So that 25,000 will increase your capital. Okay. 75 plus 25, it means 1 lakh rupees is the amount of sale, but out of 1 lakh only half the payment was received in cash, means 50,000 you received in cash, and the remaining 50,000 you will receive in future. It means these are your debtors. So net effect on total assets, 50 plus 50, that is 1 lakh minus 75, 25,000, and no effect on creditors. Equation after this, 70 plus 50, it is 1,20,000. 120 minus 75, it is 45,000. 50,000. 190 plus 25, it is 2,15,000. Creditors 40,000, and capital 1,75,000. Okay. Let's see fourth transaction. Goods costing 10,000 rupees. Sold for 12,000 on credit. Goods costing rupees 10,000 sold in rupees 12,000 on credit. Costing 10,000 means stock will reduce by 10,000. You are selling on credit means your debtors will increase by 12,000. Goods was of 10,000, you are selling it in 12,000 means 2,000 rupees is your profit. So whatever profit and loss is there in the question, that will increase or decrease your capital. No effect on cash. Total assets 12 minus 10, 2,000, and no effect here on creditors. Again now equation, 1,20,000. 45 minus 10, that is 35,000. 50 plus 12, that is 62,000. 215 plus 2, 2,17,000. 40,000 is the amount of creditors, and 1,77,000 is the amount of capital. Let's see fifth point. Paid for rent 2,000 and salaries 4,000. Paid for rent rupees 2,000 and salaries rupees 4,000. This time extending the format. Rent and salaries, you know that these both are expenses for you. So every expense will decrease your cash and capital. So rent and salary both are your expenditure, so that will decrease your cash and capital. 2 and 4, 6,000 in cash, and same 6,000 will be reduced in capital. No effect on stock and debtors. 6,000 total assets. No effect on creditors. Now again form the equation. 120 minus 6, that is 1,14,000. 35,000. 62,000. 217 minus 6, that is 2,11,000. Here 40,000. And 177 minus 6, 1,71,000. Sixth point, that is last transaction of this question. Goods costing 20,000. Goods costing rupees 20,000. Means costing was 20,000 of the goods, but you are selling it in 18,500. Sold in 18,500 for cash. Means you are selling goods in cash. 20,000 was the costing of goods, so your stock will decrease by 20,000. You are selling in cash, means your cash will increase by 18,500, because actually you sold for rupees only 18,500. Cost was 20,000, but you are selling it 18,500. It means you got a loss, that is of rupees 1,500. And loss and profits are ever shown in your capital. So now match the final equation. It will be your final equation. What is the final equation? Check here. 114 plus 18,500. It is 1,32,500. 15,000. 62,000. Yes, but before it, effect on total assets. 18,500 minus 20,000, it means minus 1,500. So 211 minus 1,500, 005 902. It is 2,09,500. Creditors will be 40,000. 171 minus 1,500. It will be 1,69,500. So match your final equation. Cash you have 1,32,500, stock 15,000, debtors 62,000, and creditors 40,000, and capital 1,69,500. This was your accounting equations format. This is the first part of this question, and in the second part we have to prepare balance sheet for the same question. So first you write it down, after we will prepare balance sheet. So balance sheet also I am just preparing here because of lack of space. As I told you, balance sheet in your some previous question also. This is not a difficult part. Balance sheet you have to prepare only with these closing balances that you got in your final equation. What is balance sheet? I think everybody know about that. It is a statement that shows about liabilities, capital and assets of a business. Means that is shown financial position of the business. So prepare here balance sheet. You will prepare in your notebook after this question, after this format. Balance sheet you don't have date, so just I am writing here as on, leaving this space for date. What was the format of balance sheet? Liabilities amount, assets amount. It's very simple format. Liabilities, amount, assets, amount. So first of all check assets. Like our first assets were cash, rupees 1,32,500. 1,32,500. Then stock of rupees 15,000. Stock 15,000. Debtors 62,000. 62,000. Only three we have assets. Liabilities, that is creditors of rupees 40,000, and at last that is capital rupees 1,69,500. Now total both side it should be equal. 0, 0, 5, 5 to 7 or 2, 9, 3, 4, 6, 10, 2. It is 2,09,500 and match these 2,09,500. Your balance sheet tallies, it means your question is correct. So it was your question number 9B point. Okay. After this we will start some different questions, because this type of questions easily you can solve now, and we are going to start some different kind of question, like just some points I am telling you now, and different points that we will start in next video. Suppose that, as I told you, that stock is your asset and assets are always debit. Okay. Creditors are your liability and liabilities are always credit. Okay. If your stock increases, I am not doing this in this question, just I am telling you different point. Suppose that your stock increases, so where will you show this point? Obviously we will show in asset side. Are you getting my point? That these all assets have debit balances, and if these assets increase, it means these will be shown in asset side. Okay. These will be shown in debit side. On the opposite of this, that if your any asset decreases, so this will be shown in credit side. Okay. This type of question we will solve in our next video. Till then you just solve this type of formats or balance sheets question. Okay. So that's all for today. In next video we will discuss some further questions. Till then, thank you so much.